Hey guys, welcome back to the part 4 of this course. As we previously said, we will start with the dashboard designing. And let's say what is our progress with dashboard. Let's start the server. And this is the dashboard right now. We haven't actually done anything at all. We only have this validation user check. So we will remove the content. So everything is gone. Now let's start designing it. First create a parent div. And let's not give it a class name for now. And I will create a main section. The main is being created just for semantic purposes. And inside the main, I will create sections. First I will create a section. And there will be another section which will be for analytics. So we won't be implementing the analytics for now, but we will keep the section for now. And our whole content will be inside the first section. And before the main, we will have our header. We will implement the header later, so we will just keep it there. And let's start designing the dashboard boxes. Let's first create a box and we will copy it 4 times. Before designing it, let me open the reference image for it. So I have opened my dashboard reference image here. This dashboard has 3 levels. First one is header, second one is the boxes, and third one is the analytics. We will be implementing only the header as well as the boxes that will have information individually. But we won't be implementing the analytics part for now. That's for another time. And let's start coding. First split this up so it's much more visible. And I will switch to our page. So inside a simple box, I will give it a display flex, items center. And let's just close this terminal for now so it's better visible, and collapse this part. So before starting to design the box, let's take a look at the reference box image. So this one is having a complete box and 2 separate sections. One is SVG and another one is text. So we will create 2 divs. And this one will have our SVG, the first one, and the second one will have our text. So let's add the image right now. Image src. Let's see what SVG do we have inside the public directory for now. We have email and IG. Let's use the email one. And later we will change it obviously. And let's add a width to this. For that we will add W6. Let's see, it's visible now. And let's add a demo title. And let's now style them. Taking a look at the reference image, we have an actual number which will keep track of our growth and all, and another title. So for that we will create 2 spans. First one will be having our numbers. This will be inline block. Text size will be a bit larger and font will be bold, and it will have our number. And another one will be a bit lighter, so that will be our title. It will have a text color of gray 500. Let's name it links, and let's give it 5 links. So it's visible that 5 links we have. And we can also change this to a URL SVG, but we will do that later. Let's first focus on our designing. Let's style the SVG. Let's give it a background color of, let's say, BG red 400. Then inline flex, then flex shrink 0. And if you hover over this, it will show that the flex shrink is being applied. And let's center it by item center and do justify center also. Give it a height, it's 16. Width will be also 16. And after adding the height and width, you can see the item center and justify item center is now on action. And let's now give it a border radius. I will give it a border radius of circular, so that will be rounded full. And give it a margin right of, let's say, 6. And now let's style the outer box. For that we will come to this section and give it a padding of 24 pixels and background white. Give it a shadow and let's just give it a border for now and give a bit of border radius. And now the main twist is here. We have to make this box dynamic so that we don't repeat it actually. So for that we will cut this whole box out and create a component for it. We will come to components and create a component named link box, and inside that create a React arrow function component and paste this. Give it proper indentation and let's import it. Make sure it is being exported and let's import it here. Import link box from components / link box. Let's use it here so it will be visible. And let's now copy this and paste this twice, so two of them will be visible. And now the main twist will be here, that we will make all the content dynamic. So for that we will edit this link box. Let's collab this again, and we will be receiving props which will be link box title for this title, and we will be receiving link box number, link box xvg. This one is the title, this one is the number, this one is the svg, and we will also pass this background color also. So for that link box theme, and let's use them inside here. So this one will be lb title, this one will be lb number 5. Let's change it with lb number. And where is it? The svg will be dynamic in this way, so make it dynamic, then use backtick, then svg for path. This is svg folder path, and then make the svg component dynamic. So for that we will use template literal, and we will pass this one here and then svg. This might not be visible right now, but we will just implement in the dashboard. And let's do this background color dynamic also. For that just cut out every class we have right now and make this dynamic. Let's add bg, then template literal, then this one lv theme, then dash whatever intensity of background color you want. I want 500, then give a plus and then double quotes, then again paste our classes. Make sure to keep our dynamic class inside backticks. So now nothing is visible. Let's now make changes to our link box. We will pass the props here. lb title, link box title should be links, lb number, make it let's say something 12, lv svg, we had this email, and lb theme red. And let's see if this works or not. Red is not working. Let's see what is the problem here. Let's try making it manually if this works. Yeah, now this works. I don't know why it happened, but it just happens in localhost. Copy this one and replace it with our next link box, and let's change this blue and make sure that it works. No, it does not work, and we will have to again manually tweak this, make it blue once so that it loads up, and then Ctrl Z. It will work now. And let's change this. This one should be IG SVG we have here. That's why the IG is working. Or else if you just put random words, random, this will not load up. We have it in our SVG folder, that's why it works. So make it growth. This will change. And put any number like 30%. Okay, now 0% not. Make it 30%. And this will be changed. And later we will not be passing static data here. This will also be fetched from database. And let's now style this whole section. For that I will add classes and make it display grid on medium type of devices. It will have grid template columns too. Let's see. Yes, this works. And on extra large devices, grid columns Grid columns will be 4. Let's try it once. Yes. Minimize it again and let's copy them and try it out ourselves. You can see the columns are 4, and let's add a gap between them. So there will be gap 5. Yes, gap 5 looks well. And let's now download some SVGs for them, because these ones does not look good on them. So let's change them. Let's search for URL. This one is good. As usual, we will remove the width and height and copy this one. Full screen, expand, and inside SVG folder, create url.svg. Paste this one and change it to URL. See, this will be changed to URL. And let's try out some other SVGs like growth. Let's use something minimal. Copy this one. Create growth.svg. Paste this. Change it to growth. Yes, this one works. And now let's implement the user header that will have majority of our links. So this one will have this pan, some other buttons, and 2 other buttons at the left side, which will have this link tree editing button and this profile editing button. So let's come to our code and let's create a component out of it. So we will create a component named user header, and let's create it actually. User header.js. React arrow functional component snippet. And okay, we have probably misspelled it here inside dashboard. User header, and let's now import it also. Import user header from /components/user header. Let's remove whatever we have currently and indent this properly. Let's add fragments, and for header we will use header tag, and for 2 separate sections, 2 separate divs. The first one will be having 2 separate buttons, edit profile and edit URL. Let's add 2 buttons to them. This is first button and this one will be second button. Let's take a look at the designing of the buttons. A single button will have a SVG icon followed by a title. So let's come to SVG viewer and search for profile. This one is good looking. Let's delete width and copy this. Create an SVG. User.svg and paste this here. Let's add the SVG here. Image source /svg/user.svg. Let's see if that is visible. Split screen, and we probably have not added any width. Class name w6. Yes, it is visible. Let's now collapse this sidebar and add a title to the button. Edit profile. We probably have to add inline flex to this, so let's add class name inline flex. Make it width full for now. So in mobile it will take up whole space, but in larger devices it will have width auto. So for that, medium W auto. And in order to take its full width, we have to also make the 2 buttons column wise. So for that we will add flex and flex column. And in desktops we have to make it flex row. So let's copy this button and paste this here. Let's see what is the progress, and we now have to style this button. We will be styling both of the buttons together, so just select both together and let's start adding. Padding X 5, padding Y 3. It will start taking the shape, and text will be purple. We will be changing the text color for single one, and we will do that later, but for now let's just add this. text color purple and font bold, and on hover we will change the text color. Let's just make it full screen. On hover, text should be a bit darker, purple 700, and also on hover make the background color change. Background color should be purple 100, and give it a border radius rounded MD and a margin bottom of 3. Let's see what is the change. So this does not look that good right now, so let's make some other changes. First change this to text red. Let's see how it is. This one should be red, and this one make it also red. So on hover, this is the color, this is the color, and let's add some spacing after the SVG. So for both of the SVG, let's add margin right, MR4, too much, so MR3 will be good. And let's now add border to whole button. That is the main thing that will differentiate those two buttons. So add border. Let's see how it is. Border is too light, so we will add border 2, and let's also add some border color to border purple 500, and for this we will make border red 500, so make it red. And this button will have a left margin ML4. Yes, but in mobile devices we don't need that margin. Let's see how the mobile design is. See, we have the margin left in the mobile, and this is looking kind of bad, so we will make only it available for medium to large devices. So this is looking kind of great now, and when we zoom out, this is it. And let's just give some padding to the whole header. So we will add padding 8. Let's see how it is, and too much, so we will add padding 5. Let's see how it is. It is looking great now, and let's just change this. This one should be edit links, and the URL should be URL. Okay, great. And now we should add the user here, and this will be inside this second div. For that, let's take again a look on the reference image. This is having an image, then whatever pack we have chosen, then the username and some other icons. So first grab this image. For that we will use flat icon, and here we will type avatar, and this is the avatar we've been using. If you want the same styling but other gender, we have this character too, but I will use this one. Copy image address. And while creating our database model, I once mentioned that we will be needing an avatar default URL, so let's just add it right now. We have avatar here, and let's add a default value to this. So default image URL will be this, and users can later change this one. So move it here. Let's cut that one. Let's first create a div. Inside this we will have two separate divs. One will be having our username and the pack we are using currently, and another one will be having our user image. So let's first create the one that will be having our username as well as the creator pack. This one, make it text size extra small, and in medium devices the text size will be normal. It will have a display flex, and flex will be flex column, and make it flex wrap. And now let's add content pan. Inside that, this will be our username. We will make it dynamic, but for now let's just see the design. And another span that will have our role pack. Divide the screen. Take a look at this. This is not taking the shape at all, so let's just play with the image. This will have another div as I said, and it will have user img. Let's add image, use image source, and whatever the model was, we just pasted it here. For now, just for now, we will copy this image URL and paste it here and close the tag. Collapse it again, give it a class name as well as width, w10. Let's try it. W10 is fine, and make the div class inline flex. this will start taking shape. In order to take the user box to its actual place, we have to add header styling, class name flex row, so it will be positioned on row level. And now do justify between. And now for vertical leveling, make item center. And we can also add some padding here, because this does not have any padding or margin at all. So specifically for the user box, this one is the user box, let's add some margin right 5. Okay, this one looks kind of great. And for the name, we will add separate styling. This should be font bold so that it differentiates from other text. Font bold. The image should have some margin at left side as well, so we will add margin left 5. And I think the letters being right aligned would be a better looking one. Now take a look at the reference image. Here the texts are right aligned, so we will do text right. And also for vertical aligning inside this user box specifically, we will do items center. And let's add some background color to this user box. So for that we will do bg gray 50. Let's try 50. 50 does not actually look that good, so we will do 100. Let's see how it is. 100 is not that much visible at all, so let's try 200. Yes, this is visible. And let's add some padding. Padding X will be 5. Okay, great. Padding Y is 2. And let's now add some border radius. Great. And now let's add some notification icon and logout icon as well. This is the parent div for the right portion. So inside this we will add 2 images, actually SVGs. Let's try them out first. Email.svg. Let's see where is the positioning. So it is now rendering column wise, so make it flex and flex row. Add some width to this SVG, W6. And let's just search for a notification icon. This one is looking kind of good. Let's optimize this, delete this width and height, copy this, create another SVG, notify.svg, paste this, and inside user header notify.svg. Let's try it out. Yes, this is looking fine, but just needs a little bit of modification. And now also search for our logout icon. Logout. This one is kind of slim, so we shall look for other icons. This is looking great. Let's cut this one. Create logout icon. Logout.svg. Paste this. I believe we haven't deleted the width and height, so we will delete width and height. And come to our dashboard, split screen again, and also copy this and paste this one. Change this to logout SVG, logout. Yes, now add some margin right 5. Each of them will be having margin right 5. Now the designing is all set. And now we have to implement the backend for this user box as well as the logout button. So we can just implement the logout button right away. For that, maximize our VS Code and add an on click to this image. It will execute a function called handle logout. And let's now create the function. What this function will do, this function will just simply remove the token that we have stored in our local storage, and then it will forward us to login page. So for that, local storage, remove item. Our token name was linktree token, and then router.push, but for that we have to import the user router. import use router from next router and implement it. Const router is equal to use router, and now we can do router dot push to which page? Login page. And now let's try it out and let's refresh and let's click on this. It will log us out, and let's try to access the dashboard again. Dashboard. No, it will again forward us to login page. So the logout button is working. Just add cursor pointer to both of them. Cursor. Now let's make this dynamic, the dashboard. For that we will come to our Node.js in index.js, create app.post on path data / dashboard, and it will execute a function named dashboard data, and we have to create this function as well. In controllers, create dashboard.js. Now the function, it will receive two parameters, request and response. And before implementing, we also need the data. So for that we will come to our front end and make a call here. We will use fetch API. For that, now just minimize this one, and to the path http localhost port 8080 data / dashboard, and it will be a post request. So method post headers content type application JSON, and the body we will stringify, and we will send what? We will grab the local storage item, get item, and our token name linktree token, and we will send this as token mail, and inside backend we will grab it. And let's close other tabs so it's not much confusing for us. We will receive the token mail, const token from request.body, and before implementing, just export this function module.exports dashboard data, and let's import it in our backend. Const dashboard data from path controllers / dashboard, and upon receiving we will first console log this, console.log token mail, and then add a try catch block. So the token we are receiving is actually encoded in JWT, so we will have to decode that. For that we will import our JWT decode, const JWT_decode from JWT decode that we installed previously, and this will help us decode the JWT token. We will store this in this variable, const decoded token mail is equal to JWT decode, and this will receive the token mail that we just received from our front end and the secret key that we have inside our environment variable. So we can access it via process.env, and what was the name again? secret_JWT. And now extract the email from it. Const email is equal to decoded token mail dot email. So it will extract only the email from the decoded string, and let's just console log this and give it a name, decoded email. And now we will be finding any user with this email. So for that we will have to import our model. Const user is equal to require ./models/user from this, and we will find it. For that we will use await, and we have to also make the function asynchronous in order to use await. User.findOne via email. And the fields we need for this purpose is const. We will save them in an object, const user data. Let's name it user data. Inside that name field we'll have user.name. The user we are finding here, the name field will contain the name of the user. Then role, user.role. Then we need the avatar, user.avatar. Okay, the spelling is avatar. And we need handle, user.handle. And the links count. For now we are just receiving the links count to show it in our dashboard. Here, this will be here. So user.links, and we need the length actually. If you look at our schema carefully, there is our link array. If we have 7 links, so array will be having 7 items. So we are requiring the length item for this purpose. And now return the response. Return res.json. Message is success from backend. User data, the object we just created, and status. Okay. And if error happens, we will return a response, res.json. Status will be error, and the exact error will be sent as error.message, err.message. This is the error, and error.message, aka this error, will contain the exact error that has taken place. And let's come to the front end and receive the items. So on successful completion of the fetch request, we will do .then. Whatever response we get, pass it res.json, and then whatever data we get from this, we will check if data.status. If data.status is error, then we will just return it. Return toast.error. Error happened, and for that we will import toast. Import toast from React Toastify. And if error hasn't taken place, then we will have to save the data somewhere. For that we will create a state variable, const data, and set data, use state. We have to import that too, and initially it will be blank object. Come here and use set data function. It will save whatever data we receive, and we have passed the user data. So data.user data. And after this we will create a local storage item, local storage set item, and we will name this user handle, and the data for this will be data.userdata.handle. Let's check this again. Let's cut the user model, and we were receiving the handle and then the user data. So the data will be actually data.userdata.handle. And after the success, we will toast.success. We will do data.message, which actually was success from backend. Or make it better, user loaded. We can change that later, so don't mind about that. And let's now handle any error. So we will do catch error console.log, whatever error is there. And now we have set the data after successful completion of the fetch request. Now make use of this data. So we will pass the data to user header as a prop, and let's now receive it. Where is the component? Yes, it is here. So we will receive it here. Let's destructure the data. Const what we had here, name, role, avatar, handle, links. Name, role, avatar, handle, links from the data. And let's replace all this data as dynamic value. In the place of name we will use name. In the place of role pack we will use role. And where are the other fields? This is the avatar. So as src we will change this, we will use avatar. And we can do one thing, we can just replace this with handle, as initially we are not accepting any name when user signs up, so we are receiving the handle, so the handle should be inside their dashboard. And let's come to dashboard, and as we previously said, we will make one of the link box dynamic. So here we will just replace this as data dot what we were passing, the links length. So if there are 15 links, it will return 15. So we will pass data dot links. So let's see what our output is. So we haven't actually logged in. Let's see still what is the output. We have to log in and we don't remember any password, so we have to create another ID, demo user 11 @gmail.com. Let's copy this and make it password. Create a type. The backend is not working. Okay, the backend is not working, so we have to split the terminal. cd /server npm start. Let's start the backend. Okay, node app crashed. Let's see why it is. So it is saying cannot find module underscore modules. What is it? Okay, we probably have typed something random. I don't know what that is. We will have to replace this with user, and let's see. I don't know what that came from. And let's try again. You are registered successfully, and let's log in. You are logged in. We have one default link that, let's see. We have this default link that we have in register function. Where is it? Yes, this is the default link that we have. That's why it is showing that we have one link. And let's see, we have the username demo user 11 and we are using creator pack. That's why it is showing that. Let's now try logging out. We are now logged out, and let's log in again to check this. Login. Let's remove the notification, and this is working fine. And in the next tutorial, we will create the link editing page as well as the profile editing page.